So one of the many things that your average homeowner has trouble with is getting either their lawnmower or their snowblower started every year. And typically I would say that each one of these pieces of equipment sit between 3 to 5 months a year when they're not being used. And I'm just going to give a couple of tips on what to do in order for your either lawnmower or snowblower to go ahead and start every season. It's basically very simple, very easy maintenance, and just a few things to keep in mind. Whenever you're done for the season, whether you're done cutting the grass or the last snowfall, you will always want to run your equipment out of gas completely. I know there's a couple of products on the market that keep the fuel stable. The product is called Stable. I've never personally used it, so I can't say whether or not it works, but something that I've always done is just run them out of gas completely until they stall. That way you know there's nothing left in the tank to go bad, because it takes gas probably a good 3 to 5 months to go bad. And once that gas goes bad, it makes them very difficult to start the next year. So a couple of basic tools that you need is I always either use just a siphon tube or an old turkey baster, and basically pull the cap off and go ahead and siphon all the gas out of it and put it back into your can. Make sure you have a proper 2-cycle can separate from your regular 4-cycle gas. Once the gas is all sucked out of there, or if you can drain it out, don't tip your piece of equipment upside down. Either suck it out, or something else that I like to do, which is very easy on this Toro snowblower, is undo the fuel line right there. I pulled the rear cover off here, just 2 screws, and basically take a pair of pliers, pull the fuel line off, crack the fuel line, and drain it back into your gas can. The chances of the gas going bad in the tank is less than the chances of the gas going bad in the carburetor, because you have this little tiny fuel bowl down here, the fuel bowl on the snowblower there, and the fuel bowl on the lawnmower here. It's a very typical lawnmower that most people might have with the standard Briggs & Stratton engine, but the fuel goes bad in the carburetor itself rather than going bad in the tank. So that is what makes it difficult to start. And also another thing to keep in mind is when your gas isn't being used, this little vent here, people tend to leave them open in their garage. Always close them. For starters, it'll keep the garage smelling clean. You won't fill your garage with gasoline fumes, but it'll seal the gas can, because if air gets inside, it'll create moisture, and when the temperatures fluctuate throughout the year, it creates condensation inside. Water mixes with gas, then you put that bad gas into your lawnmower or snowblower, and then it will make it very difficult to start or run very poorly. So always keep those vent holes covered. It'll seal the gas off, the gas won't go bad, and it won't get moisture inside the tank. So like I said, run your equipment completely out of gas, drain it, then run it. Once it stalls, if you have a choke it over completely, start it again until it will not start any longer. It'll probably run another few seconds with the choke on. Run it until it's completely empty and will not start anymore. Now, when it comes time to start your snowblower or lawnmower, and say you didn't run it out of gas and it's very difficult to start for you. Maybe it's sputtering, maybe it won't run at all, maybe it'll run on the choke, maybe it'll run when you push the primer button and then it immediately stalls. A trick that I like to do, or say it won't even start at all, a trick that I like to do is you get yourself a little can of Gum Out small engine carb and choke cleaner, or just a standard carb and choke cleaner, and go ahead and spray a shot of it in the back intake of the carburetor. Just spray for about 2 seconds, let it sit for a few seconds, and then go ahead and pull the cord. It should fire right up on you. And if it continues to stall, go ahead and repeat that a few more times until the old gas is pumped out of that carburetor and running properly. Now before you do that, you probably want to siphon the old gas out of the tank, fill it with fresh gas, then go ahead and repeat that. And on a standard lawnmower as this one, go ahead and remove the air cleaner cover. It's just a simple screw that holds this on here. Let me grab the can. This one you're going to spray right back in here, like that. Just go ahead and give it a shot. And while you have the air cleaner cover off, it's very important just to take your air compressor if you have one, or just take an old brush or a toothbrush or something like that and just brush all the crap out of here. I mean, this is very simple to do. A lawnmower shop is going to charge you probably $60 to $70 plus parts to do a simple service that most anybody can do. Very easy, just remove it, brush it out, put it back on. And this one I will clean in a little bit. Next thing to do is check the spark plug. Always check the spark plug, or pull the spark plug off when the engine is cold. If the engine's hot, these are aluminum heads. You'll end up potentially stripping those threads right there. You strip those threads, it's going to be pretty costly for you. This spark plug does not need to be replaced. It's clean, it's not full of carbon, it's still nice and white in there. So this one's perfectly fine. I mean, people think you need to replace the spark plug every year. These spark plugs will last almost the life of the lawnmower as long as you keep it tuned up well. Just snug it back up, you don't have to crank on it. Oh, hold on. Gotta snap this thing back on here. And let me check the oil on this one. This oil is actually fairly clean. You can probably go 2 seasons per oil change on a lawnmower, just as long as you make sure the oil is full. If the oil's not full, then you're going to obviously run into some trouble. To change the oil on a standard lawnmower, go ahead and start it up, let it get hot, so when you drain the oil all comes out nice and quickly for you. Make sure all of it comes out since it's hot. It's a lot thinner. And you don't have to siphon the oil out of these. Some of them you do because it's hard to get to the drain plug. But on most standard lawnmowers, drain plug is right there. It's just a 3/8 socket. Just use the same wrench that you use for the spark plug. Get an extension on there, but that's all it is right there. Just loosen it up, get your drain pan, set it on the ground, let it drain. Once it's done, put it back on, snug it up, fill it with usually about 1/2 to 3/4 of a quart of straight 30 oil. I mean, that's basically it when it comes to servicing a mower. Go ahead and shoot some oil on, you know, for all the wheel bushings there, or wheel bearings. But very easy. Always run your piece of lawn or snow equipment out of gas before you put it away for the year. If you have trouble starting it, go ahead and shoot a little bit of carb cleaner in the intake of the carburetor. Usually gets it going. And changing the oil, checking the spark plug, checking and cleaning the air filter. It's all very, very simple. Something a lawnmower shop is going to charge you $60 or $70 to do. Something that anybody can do themselves. And since I finished using the snowblower, I'm going to go ahead and drain the gas, start it up, let it run completely out of the carburetor, and put it away for the season. Hope this helped everyone out and saves everyone a little bit of money, a little bit of headaches as well.